art. I happened to talk to Brent Benjamin, the director of the art museum. So I used to go there a lot, particularly because young lady who is the coordinator, Renee Franklin. You may know her. If not, she's a very fine young lady, and she's instrumental in a lot that goes on around black people and black artists. And I had asked him, I'd seen him a couple of times. He recognized me, and not that I wanted to meet him or anything, but it was like, I asked him specifically about some St. Louis artists. I said, why not, there's some St. Louis artists that are internationally known. And Oliver related to them, John Roselle and Michael Marshall. I specifically asked him, I said, why not, bring them to St. Louis collectively, individually, and into the city. I said, that's because people come to the art museum. I had a student, I do some subject in healthcare at the schools, and he said he was afraid to go to the art museum. He went there, and the people were like kind of cold, like, what are you doing here? And even the black security, most of them, as you know, they're black. But I said, well, you go, that's part of what you deserve. Your parents pay taxes. But anyway, so I haven't talked to Mr. Benjamin since Oliver and the group were there at the museum, okay? So whether he heard that and moved, I don't necessarily think so. But here's Oliver from the Shine, here's Roselle, and here's Michael Martin, all St. Louis people, and Mobile people don't know them. It's a shame. I mean, I'm dismayed and disillusioned. We're talking about adults getting some money. We got to start with our kids. They got to know about Miles. They got to know about Baldwin, one of the baddest writers in the world, okay? And here we got some people like Quincy. I mean, that comes. Redmond. I mean, right here, and we don't publicize them to our kids. Our kids got to see that. I'm thinking about my son. Now, you all know me, he's been around. He's awed by these guys. He knows Oliver. He knows Quincy. I used to bring him. He's a teenager now. So he doesn't, I mean, I'm going to get quiet, but I'm making this speech. He doesn't come as much. He told me to tell the guys hi. But what happens is, if they would see this, if I would come in at almost 80 and he'd never been here, I would say, damn, where is this, how did this get here? And we have got to get to the kids. Now, like money, I know, but what else besides money will get black folk getting their kids involved, I mean, in something like this in the arts? It's like.
Who wants to respond first? Getting the children involved, getting parents to bring their children. It's called parenting, according to a parent over here.
I've done a lot in the school programs. Probably when it started back in.
Use your mic, Shirley.
Back in 1972, in juvenile facilities, where many times it's very important for them to kind of discover their creative energy, but it has to be done on a regular basis. Normally, in those situations, they want you to come one day a week. I usually prefer doing workshops with teachers, teaching them how to get the children involved with things. But I also think that if we want to call to parents, we may need to start, each one teaching one. There's a lot of stuff have to be done. But I think the schools, I found it can hold the students' interest, but it needs to be a permanent part. And the arts are being eliminated from the curriculum even, let alone for agencies trying to bring artists in.
I want to thank all of you for coming, because we need to make. I'm sorry? I didn't see you speaking.
I was going to try to follow up on
Y'all got a website so we can log in and see about all y'all, and all y'all on that website, something like that?
I got a website, I think.
Look up each one of y'all on the same website?
No, is there one location, George, is that something new art series?
No.
Well, we have a website that that's partially, but in terms of these individual artists, I'm sure after this is over, you can speak to them and they'll tell you how to contact business architects.
Renee Franklin is my director at the St. Louis Art Museum, and what I'm gonna ask you all to do, and you'll found out how she responds to things. You all contact her with your proposal. I'm an assistant in the community outreach program. We go to the regional art commissioner with our artists. We do bring art into communities. We bring visual art. I brought Oliver's name, I gave him all the information to bring Oliver out there, they did, brings him out there. So there is, the art museum had enough money to sustain itself, no one else donated to it for the next 35 years. The art museum has that much money. So it's just a matter of you all writing the proposal to say, this is what we want to do. We want to come into St. Louis, this is what we need to do. Y'all might not come all at once. I don't know how they'll do it, but you all write the proposal. You can send it to Renee. She will do everything she can to get it started. As far as the visual artists, the local artists, they tend to go with mainstream first. Now, they
This is pretty mainstream. I like this. This is my mainstream.
There are pieces here alone from the museum. What I'm saying to you is it's trying to reach the visual artists that are emerging or need, the next step is mainstream.
May,
It's public programs and student programs.
All right, thank you, thank you. And we're going to wrap this up and after Oliver's comment.
the only thing that I wanted to comment on was, I think it's important to, since this is about BAG and reunion and beyond, what Oliver Lake was talking about may be of some use for people who think they want to continue. I think you have to keep in mind a couple of things. Is that at the time that BAG came into its own, it was an extremely dynamic time in terms of politics and all that. The dilemma that we're talking about now, how do you reach young people? BAG was put together to do a number of things. One, that ourselves as professional artists to become better at what we do, a teaching place for us, but it also, we had an outreach program for the community. And so there were a lot of things that the organization did in terms of reaching out. So I think you can expect that from the artists within a program that they will reach out to the community. It took money, we put theater plays together, musical numbers, dance, the whole number, but it was going into the community. That was part of the thrust. And when it wasn't Oliver, just to go in, a lot of programs. So the BAG was dynamic. It took on itself that mission, and it fulfilled it to a great degree. So it can be done with the artists. I think you want to keep clear that if there's going to be community support, we aroused the community so that they knew we were there. After that, they became interested, and it just takes time and work. It's not all at once. There was money that was raised, people, grants, the whole 9 yards. This is the concreteness of it. But as an organization, it was crucial to us as people working, Redmond, everybody collaborating to get better at what we did, simultaneously being available to the community to use us and the expertise that we had for the young people were crucial. We were down to it, I go a lot of places. So you can do it all, but it takes money and a lot of effort and a lot of, we were mad